And again, if you start to see your mucus turn different colors, the darker that mucus goes, the more likely there is an infection. Let me just show you a little page here, little infographic that may help you out a little bit. It's pretty helpful. So clear, right? If you're having a lot of mucus and it's clear, odds are you could have a food allergy response, right? It's possible. Could be just some general allergies in the environment. And so if you're breathing in a lot of dander or cedar, in Austin, a lot of cedar, a lot of different pollens, one of the best things you can do is flush that out. Because if you're creating an immune stress response in your body and you're keeping that in your sinus cavity all day long, that is not good. So you want to flush that bad boy out, especially when you're in for the day. Hopefully you have a really good HEPA filter in your room, so you're going to sleep clean. You're going to filter out all those antigens and those danders and things out. But usually clear means allergy. Think environmental typically. Starts to get whiter or cloudy. The darker it starts to get, that means the immune system is interacting with something in that cavity. Most of the time with sinus issues or sinus infections, it's bacteria. A lot of times you can have a viral infection like, an upper respiratory flu or something, and that can result in a bacterial issue, right? So that's why it's good to use things like iodine or like some of the Xlear and flushing it, because one, just irrigating helps. That is antibacterial. It flushes things out. It lowers the viral load, which is excellent. Also, if you add a drop of iodine in there, it's also very anti-inflammatory. It'll break up biofilms, which are like the protective shields a lot of bacteria and things will use to survive so they don't get killed. And so as you start to have more infection, you see the yellow, that means that's the dead debris. The immune system's interacting with the bacteria or the infection, could be viral. And then you're seeing the end result of it, which is all of these kind of the dead immune soldiers. That's going to be the color that's left over. And then you can see here green, it's a bigger infection, deeper infection, more white blood cells are coming in there. And again, the last thing you want to do is leave these things up in your sinus cavity, especially if you have kids. That mucus, once your nose starts to get a little bit congested, the eustachian tubes kind of travel right along this area here. Kids have more of a horizontal eustachian tube. And so that means you can have a sinus infection that can go to an ear infection. So not good. And so best thing you can do is get that junk out. That will prevent yourself from getting an ear infection. And then again, if you do start to have a sinus infection, it will feel like someone popped you right in the face. It will feel like you got punched in the face, tooth pain, even some eye pain. And again, like I've done it I had a sinus issue last month, blew my nose as hard as I could, really got in there, then did a sinus flush and I got so much more junk out. A lot of times you can get a lot of that mucus kind of sticks right into that frontal cavity right up here. And you just can't get to it. It's hard. So using some of that spray to kind of break it up, I'll put the Xlear sprays in the links down below here. I'll give you some Amazon links. The regular Xlear spray is good. Then you have the rescue spray. If it's a deeper infection, the rescue is nice because it's got parsley and podiarco. It's got some oil of oregano. It's got some tea tree oil. It's got the grapefruit seed. The regular just has the grapefruit. And then you have the Max, which has the grapefruit. It's got some aloe, which is more soothing. That's more of a chronically inflamed, chronic allergy inflammation, chronically inflamed. That's good. It's got the capsicum in there, which is a homeopathic. It's got the aloe. So it's more soothing stuff, but still some killers in there as well. And then, of course, once you start to get a little blood in there, you start to turn a little bit red in regards to the mucus. And then brown can be mucus. It could just be dried blood as well. If you have a lot of mucus or irritation and it's dried, you can see it go a little more brown. So when you start to see a lot of those color changes, just understand yellow to green. That means you have more immune soldiers, dying in the line of fire, so to speak, to knock down those bugs. And so the more you can flush it out, prevents everything from getting clogged, prevents that infectious debris from moving into the ear cavity.